Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it very clear to us explicitly that this life will be a life of trials and tribulations. The life of this death, and the life الذي خلق الموت والحياة, made it very clear why He created life and death, or why He created death and life. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا, to see which one of you are the best of the deeds. The objective is to see which one of us are best in deeds. But similarly, there will be those who will express and show the worst of their actions. From the worst of the actions which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed for people to commit is kufr and shirk against Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, is disbelief against Him, associating equals, partners with Him subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla jalaluhu. Also, He's allowed for the human beings and jinns to harm fellow human beings and jinns in the utmost level, in the utmost way, in the most evilest way. That is because, again, to see the best of the best and the worst of the worst, because the reward that's left with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of the best rewards that we cannot even imagine. And also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has left the accountability at the severest level, which also we cannot imagine, the punishments for eternity, the worst of the worst. From those worst crimes that people can commit against one another is sihr, is black magic. Today that's my topic. I'll give you a couple of realities of sihr. Because it's a khutbah, it will be a summary. Firstly, the history of sihr, especially where we come from, subcontinent. The reality is, my brothers and sisters, we come from a place where the people of that area, of that region, they were either Buddhists or they were either Hindus. Our ancestors were either Buddhists or either Hindus. Even if some of our ancestors, even if they were Arabs or they were Turks or they were Afghans, and from that region, Afghan region, the Tajikistan region, Turkmenistan region, that north region, still, once they came into the region of subcontinent, the Bengal area, that region influenced, that culture of that region influenced our ancestors, even if they were Arabs. But eventually, we also were influenced with the rituals of the Hindus and the Buddhists. Now, back in the days, obviously, there were no doctors. And even if there were doctors, they were herbal doctors. Not like today, the doctors we have. So anyone, for example, who were unable to have children, or who were finding difficulties in their physical illnesses or mental illnesses or emotional illnesses, the only route they had is those herbal doctors. But herbal doctors only could do so much to cure especially illnesses which were related to the emotions, related to the senses, which is more to do with the inside and the subtleties of the inside, which is more to do with the soul and the mind more than the physical outer external body. So they went to the magicians. They always existed. They had a connection with the jinn world, the jinn realm. And they so-called cure people through black magic. And then when these areas became Muslim, sadly the local, you can call them imams, they knew no better. The only difference is they included the verses of the Quran or the du'as of Prophet ﷺ, and they placed them within amulets. This is the best of the means they took. And worst of them, obviously, they actually put a hat on and a beard on, or they grew their beard and they put the hat on. They were actually leading salah, but they were also magicians. They were deceiving people. They were doing black magic. This is the reality of where we come from. And even till today, the black magicians who are outright black magicians exist. And then the best of the people who we respect and hold dear to in our hearts, they don't know any other better. They also give ta'weez and amulets with the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and with the adhkar of Prophet ﷺ, which he has mentioned. I'm not going to go into details of why that is wrong. I'll just mention one point, and that is, even when you recite Ayatul Kursi, you'll be protected for 24 hours. If you recite in daytime, you'll be protected during the daytime. If you recite nighttime, you'll be protected for the nighttime, and so on. These are revelations. Sallallahu said, you'll be protected until Fajr. So there's a timeline of protection, even if you do the Sunnah way. The consequence of having an amulet is that the person who has ta'weez or amulet on the arms or wearing, firstly, they might not recite any of the verses in the hadith which has been revealed, du'as and adhkar, to protect yourself, firstly. Secondly, they are relying on this more than 24 hours, 7 days, months, years. And then you're shifting the reliance on you reciting and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to what's written there. That's a danger, because this leads to relying upon means which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not reveal, and it can eventually go towards the line of relying upon the creation. So, sadly, because of our ancestors delved into black magic, a lot of us nowadays, because we are beginning to educate ourselves and are not wearing this ta'weed, and not going to these black magicians, and not going to these imams, local imams, what's happening now, what they blocked off is coming to the surface. So a lot of brothers and sisters are suffering, a lot of families are suffering from sihr, black magic of separation, where the father or the mother is separated from the children. They feel no love, or they cannot express any love, biological love towards their own children. Or separation of siblings, where the siblings do not feel any love towards their own siblings, and they cannot express it. They get angry with little things, and they take it out of proportion, they break ties. Or they cannot progress in life, which is called sihr ta'til, black magic to prevent you from progressing in life, be it your health, be it your wealth, be it your education. And the worst sihr that they can do is sihr of junoon, which is to completely make the other person lose their sanity. And even on those ones, there's stages and levels that people can commit. Why do these people commit this sihr? Firstly, it's out of vested interest. They have an interest in your life, be it in your wealth, be it in your asset, be it for marriage, albeit simply for you not to progress. That's the first. They have a vested interest in why they do black magic on you or on your family. So they have a vested interest, number one. Number two, hasad, envy and jealousy. They are jealous of you. So typically in Bangladesh, when one has 2 wives, 3 wives, one wife might be jealous and her siblings might be jealous and her children might be jealous, and then they do magic on the father, they do magic on one side of the family. This is typical. The other typical is the jealous cousins are jealous of one another to take the wealth, to take the asset, especially back home nowadays. They want to eat your wealth, they want to eat your asset, and thereby they commit black magic on your parents, on your siblings. Or it could be due to marriage. So they do black magic to marry your sister or your niece, or they want to marry their sister or their niece to you, to your family. So these are some of the main reasons why people do black magic. 2 main reasons I have given you. Number one, vested interest. Number two, hasad, envy and jealousy. What are the signs that whether you have black magic or not? As we said, because our ancestors, they knew no better, they went to these temples when they were Hindus or when they were Buddhists, and then when they became Muslim, that culture was still there. Instead of going to the temples of Hindus and Buddhists, they went to the mosques, imams. So similar or same thing continued. I'll give you a percentage which might shock you. I personally say 70% of the Bengali community, of the Indian, Pakistani community and the Somalian community I've experienced with, 70% of them have sihr. It's because of what happened generations before us. What are the symptoms? Symptoms, simple principle I'll give you. Number one, anything which doesn't make calculative sense. Anything in calculation, it doesn't make sense. For example, you're meant to love your father meant to love you. You're meant to love your mother is meant to love you. But your father is very arrogant, very stubborn, never expresses his love. Not only that, but he talks negative about you in the community. That makes no sense. He may go and say, my son beats me up, they've got sticks to beat me up, and in reality it's a complete lie. It's a complete, total lie. Your mother can go around and say, oh, my daughters are abusive to me, they're emotionally, psychologically abusing me, they're mentally torturing me, they take my money, and it's a complete lie. Yeah? All your siblings, one of them, may have so much rivalry against you that he or she literally wants to torture you to death. That makes no sense. There is no way you can make sense. How can my own father or my own mother lie about us, lie about me, who I'm totally different, or how can my own mother or how can my own sibling have so much rivalry against me? They literally want me dead. That makes no sense whatsoever. So that's the first principle. When there is no sense, there is no calculative sense, you cannot calculate and make sense of it. That's number one. Number two, when you're around people that you're meant to love, that you're meant to express your love, that you're meant to take care of, you cannot sit in one place. You cannot sit in the sitting room in that same place with your parents or with the children or with your siblings. You cannot sit in that one place. If you do, you start yawning. you start fidgeting, you start getting angry. Any little hiccups, you misunderstand it to the extreme. And you straight away want to be aggressive, or they want to be aggressive towards you. You cannot even speak normally in an amicable manner. It's a second sign where you cannot express your love and care for them. The only thing you can express is anger and rage and misunderstandings. That's number 2. Number 3, years can pass by and the issues are not resolved. Be it the bullying that took place, be it the lies that took place, be it the assets that was eaten, be it there's no progression in life, be it the marriages are breaking down, be it you're not having children. Years go past by. Be it your wealth, you're not progressing in your wealth. Nothing makes sense. But years go past by and none of these matters are even coming to the table to be resolved or rectified. That means there's a blockage. There's black magic done on the whole family for them not to progress, for them not to even come to the table to talk about it. How do you find the culprits? The culprits are, it won't be someone foreign to you. It won't be someone distant and far because they have no vested interest in the black magic on you, on your family. The culprits will be someone very close to you. These will be your relatives. Back home it may be your neighbors. It will be someone very close to you who've got vested interest to take your father or take your assets or take your income, or literally want it to be destroyed, or they're envious of you. You're progressing, mashallah, tabarakallah, in education, in your health, in your wealth, in your family, you're progressing, they want it to be destroyed. So, because they've got vested interest, and obviously when they have vested interest, they'll be jealous of you, they will commit the sihr. But that in of itself cannot guarantee that they're the culprits. How do you guarantee it? You have to have various evidences. So first, when they have vested interest. Second, when you speak to them, they hide away behind the actual issue. The issue of the problem that you're facing with them. They run away. They don't want to talk about it. And if you try to talk about it, they will dehumanize you. They'll insult you. They'll rage at you. So for example, back home, if you want to talk about the back home asset, which they are in control of, for example, the ones who did the sihr, they want to take their asset. As soon as you bring the topic up, they'll flee from the house. They'll make excuses. As soon as you bring a topic up, they'll want to leave. And when they come to see you, they'll come with another person, which now you cannot even bring that topic up. And then when they want to speak more, they will say, oh, you have not come to the back home for years. How do you know about this back home? You don't know anything. We've taken care of it for these many years. They will justify them eating the assets. They will not give you the documents, even though it's your father's documents, for example. It's your father's lands, it's your lands. They may have taken it unjustly, wrongfully, and they want to hide that. So, the topic is not spoken about. And then if you try to speak about it more and more, they will insult you. They might insult your mom, they might insult you, so that you don't talk about it, and it becomes a buffer zone. Every time now you're going to have anxiety to talk about the issues. Because as soon as you try to bring it up, they're going to insult you. They're going to insult your mom. They're going to insult you. They're going to insult your whole family. They're going to make you angry, so that you say stuff, you react, and the topic is not spoken about. Also, once you prove that they are doing sihr, once you claim they are doing black magic on you, they will first deny it. They will first deny it straight up, and they will deny in an angry manner. How dare you claim we committed sihr? How dare you say we committed sihr on your family? Even though all the signs show, practical signs show, they have a vested interest for them to commit sihr on you and your family, black magic on you and your family. No one else has that vested interest. Secondly, They have taken your assets. They are eating your assets. There's a practical reality. They are eating your assets. They have taken your assets. They don't want you to take your own father's inheritance. They have taken it, be it legally or illegally, be it lawfully or unlawfully. Third, whenever you say, okay, let's go to someone, let's go to an expert, let's go to an expert with these evidences. Let's go to a scholarly raqi, let's go to a scholar who knows about black magic. Let's go to an expert and look at the scenario and scene to prove who's committed the sihr or not, or if you've committed sihr or not, they will not attend. So these are the steps, these are the signs. Why will you not attend to prove your innocence? These are the signs for the culprits. These are some of the signs. Obviously, other signs are dreams. When you ask Allah to show you who are the culprits, He will show you the dreams because you're being oppressed. He will tell you in your heart, and then He will show you the dreams exactly who they are. Even He can go in detail of who they are, when they did it, how they did it, why they did it. All of these realities it can be shown to you depending on the level of oppression and depending on how much you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show you. Once you know who the culprits are, what should be our steps? Number one, you make dua for them, for Allah to guide them. Number two, you make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes them realize the wrong they have done, because obviously they go outside the fold of Islam. They repent and then they undo the black magic and they come to you, they apologize sincerely and they rectify their affairs with you. This is a dua you make. At the end of the day, they did out of vested interest, not necessarily out of kufr and shirk. So they still have a realm of oppressive Muslim. They're still within the category of oppressive Muslim. That's the hope you have. And if you have that, then there's a chance that you can rectify your hearts and heal your wounds with them, because at the end of the day, they're your relatives. They're very close people to you. They might be even your own family. So make dua for them. After you've given the evidences, make dua for them. But stay away from them, because they may still commit major sihr on you and your family. Especially if they are arrogant, stubborn, then they may still commit major black magic, and you need to stay away from them as much as you can. Anytime they give you something, anytime you see them, do your adhkar. Minimum say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Blow towards them, blow in your hands, wipe your body. You don't have to do it publicly. Just say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, and ask Allah to protect you from the evil eye, from the envy and jealousy, and from the black magic. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا وقائدنا وقدوتنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Treatments. I advise every single one of the Muslims to have these treatments, especially if they're suffering from illnesses which does not make sense, be it in your medical illnesses, be it in your physical illnesses, be it in your mental, psychological illnesses, be it in your emotional instability. These are the treatments I recommend for every single Muslim who is suffering from illnesses and they cannot progress in life, be it in education, be it in wealth, be it in their lives with their spouses or having children, and so on. Number one, pray the whole Quran in your house 24 hours for 7 days. Start from your room, then take it to different rooms. Within 7 days, you cover the whole house. Number two, play the adhan 24 hours for 7 days after the first 7 days of the Quran. And then alternate between the Quran and adhan every 7 days for at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Doesn't matter how severe the sihr is, within the 2 years, inshallah, you and your family will be in a much more stable position and place. Number 2, do ghusl every day with recited water. Recite on the water, with that water have showers with it every day. If it's severe, your sihr is severe, then have showers twice a day. Once in the morning, i.e. daytime, once in the night time before going to sleep. Number 3, spray the house twice a day with recited water. Everywhere, from the ceiling to your bed, to the four corners of your room, to the window, to the door, and so on. Spray with recited water twice a day, daytime once, nighttime once. The reason twice is because the shayateen and sihr, they are done daytime and they are done nighttime. So once you do the treatments those 2 times, then you are attacking the 2 times they did the black magic, or the 2 entrances they did. Burn the bakhur twice a day after spraying of the house. Once in the daytime, once in the nighttime, especially before going to sleep. If there's possession of jinns within yourself, then inhale the bakhur, recited bakhur obviously, incense, small sticks of incense, recite on them, burn them and inhale them to suffocate the shayateen inside and to untie the knots and the pins of the black magic within yourselves. After the ghusl also, I forgot to mention, apply black seed oil if this position is severe, or if it's not severe, apply olive oil, or you can mix black seed oil and olive oil and apply it on your body, head to toe. Every 3 days have baths with recited water. You can add strong herbs like senna leaves, bay leaves, cinnamon in the bathtub and have bath every 3 days, especially if the sihr is severe and is inherited sihr, meaning it came from your forefathers, parents and so on. Every 3 days have a bath with recited water with the herbs inside. What does that do? When you're in the bathtub, recited water, the jinns cannot breathe. So they come up to the head. And then if you apply the herbs, if you place the herbs, recited the herbs in there, then it suffocates them through the nose as well. They cannot breathe. And this is the way they are. Either they have to die or they have to leave. Stay in the bathtub for minimum 45 minutes to maximum 2 hours. If you have a toilet in the bathroom, close the toilet lid when you're in the bathtub with recited water. Finally, before you go to sleep, apply a black mask on your exit limbs. Exit limbs are around your head, your 2 ears, your nose, navel, private areas, back and front, your 2 hands, your 2 feet. 2 hands up to the wrists, 2 feet up to the ankles. Apply with recited black mask. This will prevent the shayateen, the main ones, to enter your realm and leave. This will torture them. The more they enter, the more they'll be tortured. Eventually they have to leave. Also apply the black mask on your hands, wipe it with the tissue. With that tissue, wipe the bed, headboard, pillows, the wall of the bed, the ceiling of the bed, the window, the 4 corners of your room, the door of your room and the main door of the house, especially if the children have nightmares. The same thing in their room with the black mask. Apply it in those places of your room. Also, if it's severe, go and see a raqi once a month. If it's more severe, and if you can afford it, go every 2 weeks. If it's more severe, then go every week for at least 3 months. Also do hijama on your body once a month or on your head every 3 months. With these treatments, it doesn't matter how severe the sihr black magic is. Obviously, I've been doing this for the last 20 plus years in the Muslim community. It doesn't matter how severe it is, it will become cured. You'll become cured, your family will become cured. If everyone does it together, especially once a week, you all come together and you do it together. You recite the Quran together, you do the ghusl together, you apply the oils together and so forth. You do all of this together once a week. You go to a raqi and you do it, you'll get cured. Within 6 months to a year, you'll get cured, inshallah. Finally, you may have gone through some trauma because of the sihr that was in your family. You could have gone through abuse, be it bullying from your siblings, or be it bullying from your parents, or be it severe beatings from your parents, or severe beatings from your siblings, or any other abuse, be it sexual abuse. These can take place because of the jinns are involved. There's filthy, khabith jinns are involved in the family. And they make the father beat their children, they make the mother beat their daughters. It happens. these are trauma of your childhood. There's also sexual abuse that can take place because of the filthy shayateen, male in a female and a female in a male. It can happen. And you just have to go through counseling and therapy to cure yourself from these abuse. Mental, psychological traumas, physical traumas, scars that you went through. Within, again, 3 to 6 months to 2 years, if you consistently go to counseling and therapy, inshallah ta'ala, you will be cured, you'll be able to move on with your own life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all the Muslims who are being affected with sihr, ayn, hasad and mas. May Allah subhanahu protect all the Muslim community. May Allah subhanahu unite our hearts of our families, of our parents and siblings, of our children. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite our hearts with our relatives, our neighbors, and make us allowed to establish, give us tawfiq to establish justice in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma amin, Allahumma amin, Allahumma amin. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز المسلمين اللهم أعز المسلمين اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى يا قوي يا عزيز يا عليم خبير يا سميع بصير أقم الصلاة.